Liga MX breaks down barriers. Just when Wynalda was out, they pull him back in. US soccer makes a high-profile hire, and the Champions League is back in action. Good morning and a happy Valentine's Day to you. My name is Daryl Grove and you're listening to The Goalmouth. Today's soccer news sounds like this. Liga MX just went social. Starting this Saturday night, games from the Mexican Domestic League will be streamed via Facebook Live with English commentary for free, thereby opening the league up to people like me. And by people like me, I mean soccer fans who are, let's say, Liga MX curious but not Liga MX savvy. I don't even know whether it's called Liga MX or Liga MX. I keep hearing both. And I know there's great soccer happening there, but I'm embarrassed to say I don't speak any Spanish beyond the name of a fast food restaurant I learned watching Breaking Bad. Turns out that's not even a real place. And I can't confidently say what network Liga MX games are on and when. But all that changes this Saturday, February 18th, 10 p.m. Eastern, when Club America vs Chivas will be streamed on the Univision Deportes Facebook page with English commentary for free. I officially give this a blue thumbs up. Because this is important stuff, and here's why. Liga MX is already the most watched league in the United States. It's true, more than 1 million viewers per game, Liga MX consistently gets better viewing figures than the Premier League or Major League Soccer. But it also feels like the league that most people are missing out on because of a language barrier or maybe a cultural barrier. So while some dummies, naming no orange names, want to build a literal wall between the US and Mexico, this English language broadcast goes some way to removing a metaphorical wall, which I think is a lot more helpful. Next up, Wynalda is back in the coaching game, taking his now traditional role as head coach of an amateur US team, with which he plans on proving a point by once again beating a professional team in the US Open Cup. Wynalda famously knocked the Portland Timbers out of the Open Cup with Cal FC back in 2012, and he's sharpening his tools, ready to claim another MLS scalp, this time with the LA Wolves. If you've ever heard Wynalda talk about coaching, as he did in an interview on Alexi Ellis' Mutant Gene podcast back in November, you'll know he really wants to be a head coach in Major League Soccer, and you'll also be convinced, and I mean this, convinced, that he'd do a great job for someone if given a chance. So look out, MLS head coaches. You don't want to face Wynalda in the Open Cup this year. It's not just your team's reputation on the line, it could be your job. The US Soccer Federation has hired Englishman James Bunce as, quote, high performance director. I'm not going to do the obvious jokes about that oddly chosen job title, except to say that it sounds a lot like the title of a Doug Benson comedy album. Instead, I'll just tell you that Bunce joins US Soccer after being head of performance for the English Premier League. So what does this mean? Well, Bunce is essentially a high-end fitness and performance coach, and it will be his job to work with US national teams at all levels, as well as development academies and MLS teams. This is one of those US Soccer hires that gives me pause. On one hand, it's good that we're investing in sports science and hiring the best in the business, right? On the other hand, it feels a bit splashy, a bit like US Soccer has joined a super high-end luxury gym that's endorsed by celebrities, but it might only visit once every couple of months, and then we'll be surprised when it's not losing weight. Side note, Daryl, visit the gym this week. I'm assuming some of Bunce's early recommendations might be pretty basic stuff that even I can see needs fixing, like, say, prioritising bigger players at youth levels is a bad idea. US national teams shouldn't play on temporary grass surfaces that slip out from under your feet, and long flights in economy class are bad for your legs. On the flip side, if James Bunce can give US Soccer the answer to the eternal riddle that is playing Mexico at the Azteca Stadium at altitude, then it might be worth every dollar. Maybe Bunce can start by watching America v Chivas this Saturday on Facebook Live. There's also Champions League action today. That snuck up on us, right? It's the round of 16 first leg games with 2 showdowns to enjoy this afternoon. Very quick previews here. It's PSG versus Barcelona on Fox Sports 1 at 2:45 Eastern. Both teams are missing key defenders, with Thiago Silva out for PSG, Javier Mascherano out for Barcelona. But this ain't your Zlatan's PSG, so expect a Barcelona win with a Neymar goal. Over on Fox Sports 2, it's Benfica versus Borussia Dortmund, also at 2:45. Young Christian Pulisic played 90 minutes for Dortmund at the weekend, so there's a decent chance he doesn't start this one for BVB. Still, here's predicting a Dortmund win with a goal from Ousmane Dembele, because why not? That's almost it from me. I've been Daryl Grove. George Qureshi will be with you tomorrow. Quick reminder that you can support the show by subscribing via iTunes and by leaving us a review. And if you need any encouragement to listen again tomorrow, here's a recent review from Pinkus D, who says, "This past Wednesday's show was a true standout. George's final two pieces of the show had me literally crying and then laughing out loud in the span of 45 seconds while on my morning commute." See, that could be you tomorrow. How about that? I'll leave you with today's Goalmouth top tip. Don't be tricked into romancing your partner on Valentine's Day. Do it all year round instead.